Thanks, guys.
Sounds like the gate is down, and we are rolling here on Schoolboy 1, 12-17 BC. One of the better sounding and smelling classes out here at Loretta's. And there it is, no shocker. Tiger Wood, the number 43, going to grab the hole shot.
Yeah, Moto 1 winner, Tiger Wood. I mean, he's looked good all week, so no surprise of him being out front. Got a little pile up here in second corner, third corner.
Little. That looks a little bigger than little, but yeah, a couple guys stacked up together, unfortunately, so they're going to try to get their motos turned around and get righted. But Tiger Wood off to the early lead is working through the commandments, everybody trying to find their way through. So Tiger Wood has the early lead. It looks like it's the 57 ride right behind him. That is Justin Turner just behind him.
And so Tiger Wood, I mean, just absolutely having a great week right now. The number 43 been feeling solid, and this is the time to get the start.
Absolutely. I mean, he's trying to break away right now while everyone's fighting for position. So, yeah, he's doing exactly what he needs to do.
And I'm curious to see, I'm sure there will be at least one of the front runners that, look at there. That's what we were talking about. You push just a little too hard, a little more than the track's willing to give. And that rider goes down. That's going to be the number 57 there of Justin Turner, grabbing a fourth in race one. And so going to have to remount the charge and talk about a great time to get the start, but not the great time to go down on that first lap as riders were going around him left and right.
Yeah, too many guys bunched to have to go down the first lap. Unfortunately, I have way too much experience doing that. So
taking a look, trying to see who that was in second place. That might have been the number 9 of Robbins.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Tiger Wood and Clark Robbins both have had a few battles already this week at the ranch, and now Robbins has got to do the chasing when Wood was earlier this week doing a little bit of chasing to run down Clark Robbins, and they've already opened up a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field, so this might be the two-rider battle we're going to see out front the rest of this one.
And I think this might be the two riders that are able to battle one another. Austin Schaefer now checking in the third place spot. As we see out the window, a couple of riders going off the side of the jump just after the finish line. All it takes is one rider inside the top 10 to go down. Next thing you know, we got 30 riders going every which way as we are watching the field go through the Yamaha mechanics area. It's Tiger Wood leading the way, Clark Robbins in second. Austin Schaefer holds down third with Cody Harrington and Thor Powell rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, it was the 5 of Landon Hartz that went down on the triple jump just after the finish line. So he, not sure if he got kicked sideways or whatever, but he was laying on the landing of that triple jump in a pretty awkward position.
Yeah, it looks really slick going up that. I'm sure these guys are fighting for traction out there, and they're trying. I'm sure these guys are on the gas trying to go up that thing. So it's a little bit of a sketchy scenario right there.
Now, Chance, technique-wise, off the start, we see Wood get the whole shot here. How much different is the technique for trying to get a start in the mud versus just a start regularly?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know how it is on a 125, but on a 250, you're fighting for the throttle control. You're trying to make sure you're not spinning too much off the gate. I mean, once you get out there, you're off the back of that thing trying to get as much traction as possible. So trying to be as light as you can on the bike. But, man, Tiger nailed that start. I mean, but it looks like Clark Robbins is keeping him in touch, though. He's not letting him get away too fast.
And that's an interesting point that you bring up as far as the conditions of the start. There was standing water in all of those ruts earlier today, but now most of the slop and the loose soil has been tossed out, and it's actually really hard packed on that start.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure some of these guys are even sitting a little bit farther back on their seat, trying to get more traction, more weight on the back of that thing. So, I mean, where Tiger is probably, he's a little bit smaller of a kid, I'm sure he's probably off the back of that thing a little bit farther than usual, but I mean, he nailed it, so.
And right now, Tiger Wood holding on to about maybe about a second or so over Clark Robbins. Robbins kind of yo-yoing back and forth. He'll catch up in one section, and then it's not a matter of if you're going to make a mistake. It's when and how costly that mistake is. And right now, Tiger Wood doing the best job of managing so far as he checks in for his first full lap.
It's still early on in this one, Chance, but we talked earlier in a few motos before this about following versus leading in these types of battles. In these conditions, it might change, but do you want to be in Clark Robbins' position here where you can see what the leader ahead of you is doing?
Yes, I would say. I mean, obviously, you always want to be out front and be in command, but, I mean, he can, if Tiger's taking any bad lines and Clark finds him, I mean, he has the upper hand right there, so it's a catch-22 right there. I mean, obviously, you want to be out front leading, but I mean, that kind of gives you an opportunity to find some better lines if Tiger's not taking them.
And that might be exactly what Robbins is trying to do. He runs a 2:08.335 compared to the 2:08.618 of Tiger Woods. So he's looking around saying, you went a little too far outside there, a little too far inside there. And maybe in the next lap or two, we see Robbins try to catch up and make a move.
Yeah, and it also gives Clark an opportunity to search for lines. I mean, it looks like he's lost a little bit of ground searching for lines, but I mean, he's going outside here, going inside there. He's trying to switch it up and look for some faster lines.
Now, on the flip side, when you're Wood in the lead in this situation, it's the first time you've seen this track all day. Obviously, it's broken down quite a bit already. What is it that you do when you're looking for lines? Is it just trying to hit the same one that you feel comfortable with lap after lap, or do you go searching around as well?
Yeah, I mean, you try to look for as many lines as possible on that side lap, but generally, if you're in a bad line, the first couple laps, you want to move around, but you don't want to move around too much to where you're losing a lot of time. But it looks like Tiger might have made a little mistake, and Clark's right on him though.
Yeah, we're watching this battle right now. I believe still for third as Harrington, or actually this is for fourth, excuse me. Harrington has Cade Johnson right behind him on that Yamaha, the number 17 ride behind the 64. But out front, the battle for the lead is starting to brew as we head into the Polysport Pond. Tiger Wood just made a little bit of a bobble, and Clark Robbins is trying to use the wide line to get to the inside before the finish line. No, it's not on the screen, but Robbins down the inside may have just made that pass, and he got him.
Wow, what a line there from Robbins, absolutely railing the inside line just before the finish line and makes the pass on Tiger Wood. And so Tiger Wood now has to figure out a way back around whether it was better to be leading or following. They're both going to try each position out right now as Clark Robbins is out front and already puts a couple of bike lanes between him and Tiger Wood.
Well, now, like you say, those roles reverse. If you're Wood in this situation, you start trying to learn what Robbins was doing to actually get to you in the first place and actually make that pass happen.
Right.
So now he gets to learn and figure it out.
Yeah, he's got to find some different lines, or he's just got to latch on to Robbins and just figure out what he's doing, because obviously Robbins is the fastest guy on the track right now by almost a full 2 seconds. So yeah, Tiger's got to figure out some lines.
And hey guys, I'm going to jump in real quick. For those of you on site, we do have an update as far as the schedule goes. We're on race 23 right now. We're going to run all the way through race 29. So we've got senior 45 plus on the line, 250C limited, Schoolboy 2 BC, girls 65 10 to 11, and Super Mini 2. We're going to run you guys right down the line today all the way to race 29. Then we're going to have those micro sight laps. And then we will start things off with the Micro E-Class, then Micro 2, Micro 3, and finally Micro 1, the Shaft Drive Limited. And that will round out everything today. Now, if we have time, we're rolling through these things as quick as we can. If we are possibly able to, we would start the third motos today. So race number 1, Vet 30 Plus, 450B, 125C, and 85 10 to 12. You guys need to be paying close attention to us all day long as far as the broadcast go. That way we'll let you know how we're looking schedule-wise. But time permitting, we would be willing to start third motos today. But we're running straight through all the way to race 29, then the micro sight laps, and then we're busting off the micro races after that.
Yeah, you definitely need to pay attention because these races are coming at us hot and heavy today. You know, that Pro Sport Moto was our longest one of the day, but we're firing these gates off. We're getting those sight laps done really quickly, so keep an eye on the schedule as it moves along.
Absolutely. And hey, I want to have a point out there. The number 36, Austin Schaefer, having a quietly good ride, still maintaining that third place spot, running a 2:08.3. So he's right there in the mix as far as the lap times go, with Cade Johnson about 6 seconds behind him in fourth place.
Well, we talked about Tiger Wood being able to do a little bit of following on Clark Robbins here, but now Robbins is almost too far away for Wood to even learn anything from Clark Robbins out front right there, Chance. So maybe Robbins knew that was the situation and tried to get a gap so that Tiger Wood couldn't figure anything out.
Yeah, I mean, Tiger needed to latch on fast, but man, Clark is looking really good right now. Lines are good. Doesn't look like he's taking too many risks. He's just really smooth. And yeah, he's putting laps down right now. He's in a good groove, and yeah, putting a gap on Tiger.
And in conditions like these, it almost sounds corny to say, but smooth is fast. As we've seen one rider get a little off balance, the back end kicks out, and that can absolutely derail an entire corner, even in a section. So right now, Robbins really smooth, steady, and pulling away from Tiger Wood right now.
Hey, good call right there, Zach, on Schaefer moving up in the 3 spot, because he just laid down a 2:07, and Johnson still behind him is in the 2:06s now. Tiger Wood had a pretty bad lap last time by in the 2:10.2 range, so keep an eye out because it might not be long before Schaefer, Johnson, and the rest of the field also get up to Tiger Wood in a battle for second.
And as they make their way into Storyland, Schaefer's got sights of the number 43, so he can see that he is catching up to the back of Tiger Wood. And just looking at the body language of Wood, it looks like something has changed up. I'm not sure whether it's the bike, but it just doesn't seem to be attacking like he was early in this.
Yeah, it looks like it almost looked like he looked down a little bit, or maybe like a little something off the lip of that triple, but yeah, something's not looking right.
So there we see the number 36, Austin Schaefer, on screen, making his way through the Rocky Mountain sand section.
Yeah, Yeah, he's definitely tightening that gap up to Tiger Wood there on the 43. He's just out of view from our camera view here, but you might see him flash just in front of the 36 here. And Schaefer, like we said, running some pretty solid lap times. Back to Cade Johnson in the 4 spot on the 17. He's also charging. He and Landon Hart's also in 6th place on the Yamaha, along with Clark Robbins, our leader, the only riders in the 206 range right now. So they are definitely on the move, and it's good to keep an eye on the progress right there. As you see, Hart's on the 5 jumping into view there. So if you're Tiger Wood here, obviously, Chance, we talked about line selection and all those things like that. He's clearly out of a groove. What are some of the things that he can do to maybe try to figure it back out and get himself back on track in this moto?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I am sure he can see those other guys catching him, but he's just got to, I mean, easier said than done. He's got to stay calm and just kind of get back together, group up, and, yeah, just start putting his laps down. I mean, that's all he can do right now is start putting some solid laps down.
Is there a mental shift that you can do within yourself to say, like, hey, settle down, let's flow some lines here and things like that?
Yeah, like going over jumps, just releasing, breathing, just trying to get the focus back. I mean, it looks like he's searching for some lines right now and not letting that gap, not letting Schaefer get up to him. So I think he's starting to regroup a little bit.
Yeah, you can see him in the background there as Robbins takes a peek over to see there's a rider down just exiting the commandments, but it looks like he was able to get off the track. And then you see Schaefer not too far behind Tiger Wood right there. So this is pretty good. We got riders pretty close together still in this battle. Not necessarily close enough to make any moves just yet, but with 3.5 minutes left in this race, there's still ample opportunities for riders to make moves inside this top 5.
And I am watching the 36er Schaefer as he chases Tiger Wood, and he is not taking a single one of the same lines. If Tiger goes to the inside in one corner, you can bet Schaefer's going to rail the outside or vice versa. He is not following at all, as now we see the KTM come on screen here. And Schaefer, Little Pedro as they used to call him over at south of the border, been training, got plenty of experience. Oh, he came up big time short on that one. Was able to maintain, takes a look over the shoulder. Says, didn't mean to do that. And focuses back forward, but that may cost him about a quarter second or so. One little mistake's all it takes.
Yeah, so we're going to come down. I think the 2-lap card is already out, actually. So these guys are going to come to the white flag this time by as Clark Robbins goes by our announcer's tower here, still in the race lead. And instead of an extra lap for Tiger Wood to figure it out and maybe go back after Robbins or Schaefer or Johnson or anybody else to try to make it up, it is going to be down to the nitty-gritty here as the white flag will wave. There it is for our race leader now, Clark Robbins, checking in out front. And 1 lap to go in this moto, Zach.
And, yeah, they are not far enough behind for this to be over yet. Clark Robbins still has his hands full. He can't settle down at all as we're waiting for the updated gap. It was 5.3 seconds, now cut down to 3.6. So Tiger Wood figured out whatever the problem was. He drops a 2:09 on that last lap, as does Austin Schaefer, another 3 seconds behind Wood. So your top 3 only about 6 seconds apart. Cade Johnson only 4 seconds back on them.
Mindset-wise, chances Clark starts his final lap. He knows that he was extending the gap, but maybe he saw that the gap was starting to come down. What do? Do you still try to put in a charge lap here? Do you try to just put in a clean lap? What is it?
Yeah, definitely a clean lap. He's starting to sit down a little bit more. The feet are off the pegs a little bit. I think you can see Tiger's catch him. Obviously, it's the last lap. He doesn't want to throw it away. So I think he might be a little nervous, but I mean he's still holding a good gap together. I mean he just needs to stay focused and bring it back home.
So here we go. White flag is flying. The final lap, the number 36 of Austin Schaefer on your screen. And he is trying to reel in the 43 of Tiger Wood, who's trying to reel in that guy right there. Clark Robbins leading the way.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Schaefer here, you're like, I just wanted one more lap. I might just run out of time to get close enough to do something about Tiger Wood just ahead of me. But, as they're coming out of Storyland, he's getting a little bit closer. It could come down to these last few corners as he's going to use the outside exiting Storyland. Tiger Wood used the inside, so maybe a little bit of extra momentum down this entire back straightaway. And we know on a 125, momentum is very key.
Absolutely, Kellen. It is everything. Got to keep the RPMs up as they make their way through the Rocky Mountain Sand section for the final time. This is as close as Schaefer's been all race. Be on the lookout for that Thor sand sweeper. I've seen a lot of passes made there. As we're watching, that was your leader that just went by, I believe. There is Wood. Now flipping to the Thor sand sweeper. There's Clark Robbins coming through for the final time, using that high line.
Yeah, just staying out of all that fluff and not getting caught up by the lapped riders. So there it is. The number 9 machine of Clark Robbins comes down and wins Moto 2 of Schoolboy 1, 12-17 BC. And it looks like Tiger Wood just held off Austin Schaefer at the flag right there. Maybe just over a second when the dust settled in that one.
Yeah, Tiger's sitting with a 1-2 right now. I mean, Schaefer had a bad first moto with a 19th, so he's kind of out of it. But Clark Robbins sitting with a 7-1. I don't know where that puts him overall-wise, but, I mean, definitely moved him up a few spots.
Big shout out to Cade Johnson there just off the podium as well. He was right behind Austin Schaefer, quietly putting the pressure on. Owen Koval rounds out your top 5 with Landon Hartz checking in 6th. We wait to see 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Wow, look at that. Thor Powell picking up 3 spots on that final lap. Great job for the number 15 coming in 7th. There's going to be Trinity Batchelor.
Trinity Batchelor from Idaho. Local boy.
Oh.
Yeah, Idaho native.
Grabbing the 8th place spot. Cody Harrington going to check in 9th. And Carter Malcolm going to round out your top 10 on the number 95. And you can just see the exhaustion on the faces of these racers. Chance, you are absolutely worn out when you're sitting under that canopy.
Oh yeah, especially during the hot days. It's humid. I mean, you got to battle with a bunch of different guys, so it's a lot to take in. Especially you come out there, you got a bunch of people surrounding you, and you just want to sit there and drink your water and just chill for a second. But yeah, it's tough. You can see all these guys are probably asking for some more water, and yeah.
Then you start having an announcer yelling at you saying, hey, I need you at the podium.
Right? Yeah.
And looks like that's what we're going to send it down to. Jason Wygant en route, making his way to the podium, standing by with your Schoolboy 1.
All right, we're going to be ready here at the podium in a minute. All right, so we're headed down to the podium area, and this is a big one, putting your name on the map. When you go out there and win a tough class like this, it's coming on strong here as we get to the middle of the week, moto-wise. It's second moto of this division. So the man down in New Jersey's got a gold medal in 125. Let's hear it for Clark Robbins. You've got to be pumped on that one. Straight up, got it done.
Yeah, the track was very technical. It was really slickery out there. So.
Is that familiar territory for you? I know you got a lot of sand where you are. Mud's not so bad.
No, mud's not so bad. I usually like the mud. I usually ride good in it, but I ride a lot of sand too. So.
Yep. But the real thing is, this is where you feel you should be, regardless of the conditions, right?
Yeah, I should be up here every time I race out here. Yep. That's the plan.
All right, who do you want to thank, Clark?
I want to thank my mom, my dad, Chris Hunter, Pro Taper, Twin Air, Guts, SKDA, Fly Racing, everyone else, Moto Sandbox and Lynx. Everyone else, thank you.
All right, Clark Robbins with the gold in a 125 Schoolboy 1. We'll go to second place. Got a whole shot award and a silver medal. We'll bring you out front here. Let's hear it for him, Tiger Wood. How was that moto for you?
Man, got off to such a great start. Yeah, stoked on that start. Just really good. Just the Dunlop tires, gas, FMF links. Going off to such a gnarly start. Pretty sure I had a bike length on everybody, which I was stoked with. Put all my pressure on that start just because I knew how the track was, real gnarly. So, yeah, just made sure I rode safe and, yeah, didn't put it down, but yeah, stoked.
Okay, who do you want to thank?
I thank Gas, Daniel, Maddie, Jennifer, everybody over at Gas. Dunlop, Monster Mike, Nixon, 100%, Troy Designs, Dave and Nick with 100%. They've been making sure my vision's sick this week. So, yeah, Luke from Troy Designs, he's been hooking it up. And, yeah, FMF Joel, yeah, just everybody, thank you so much.
All right, Tiger Woods, second place in Schoolboy 1. Austin Schaefer, third. And Austin Schaefer grabs the bronze. How was that?
It's pretty good. I got up to a mid-pack start and just passed like 2 kids, and I was in a third.
Yeah. Do you like these conditions?
Not really.
So it's actually going to make you pretty happy, though, to be able to get it done like this then.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to be third. Yesterday I was running third, and I fell the first lap, so.
Yeah, revenge. We like that. Who do you want to thank, Austin?
Mom, Dad, South of the Border, Tire, Dunlop, Fast House, ICW, Razor Image, and that's it.
All right, let's hear it for Austin Schaefer with third place.